Yeah, thank you so much. Good morning. As Pavel already said, something got mixed up. It was my fault. I should have talked to you yesterday. In fact, it's great that I can be here today. I heard on the radio that it's the World Coffee Day today, so it's maybe an even better day to talk to you because you're even more awake than you were yesterday. Yeah, besides that, it's a real great pleasure to give you a short welcome address on behalf of the city of Vienna, of Michael Häupl. Basically, and this is the main message of my welcome address, basically because of one thing. The issues you are dealing with at ISNGI, and especially in this conference, they're exactly the crucial question of our city politics. And above that, as you already know, these are the crucial issues. These are the main questions of our world as a whole. I mean, it's one of the biggest questions. It's the biggest question above all, whether we can manage to turn around or not, whether we can manage to organize our society, our world in a different way, in a way that doesn't need itself and its resources 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 times, but only one time, in a way that we can deal with and adapt to climate change in a way that it's dealable, which means that we use less resources, that we pump less CO2 in the air, and doing all this in a way that it doesn't be at the cost of our livability. And basically, I mean, these are huge issues no country alone, no academic discipline alone can deal with. But the answer to all this question is given in cities. More than half of all the people in the world live in cities. Highest amount of energy is used in cities. The highest amount of CO2 is emitted in cities at this moment. But on the same time, cities are the places that can give a different answer. Cities are the places that are densely built, and therefore the places where you can build up shared infrastructures, where you can build up a different way, a next generation infrastructure. Cities are the places in which all the know-how of all the world comes together, in which the technology is here, the knowledge is here, in which it's possible to organize transport in the different ways, because cities are the places of short ways. And therefore, it's a question, these huge questions can be answered in cities, but only in cities that work, and only in cities that work in a smart way. And that's what we are working about in Vienna. We really give a high emphasis on making our plans, our agendas, our a smart city strategy, which was already talked about yesterday, together with other plans like our climate action plan or renewable energy plan or city development plan. Basically, trying to give one answer, basically trying to tackle one mission, which is we want to even boost the livability in our city for all the citizens, not only for a few, because sustainability is also a question of social equality. We want to boost the quality of living in our city, which is a high goal, talking about Vienna, which is the city with the highest amount of livability in the whole world. And doing so by using even less resources. And this can only be done, higher livability for all the people in the city, less resources. This can only be done by using smart technology, smart infrastructure, and know-how. That's what it's all about. We try to do in Vienna. We have mingled together hundreds, thousands of experts, all the municipal departments, universities, brought together people from all over the world like you to work on these plans, which is somehow one of the goals already achieved, because turning around is a question of cooperation and co-working. And it was a very great experience for our city in the last 10 and 20 years to do all these plans and trying to step over a way in which municipal agency and municipal agency does this and that, but to work together on a plan which sets the goals for the whole city. So some things are all achieved already, and some other great thing I want to talk to you about is Vienna is already one of the smartest cities, which is some great starting point for us now in the year 2014. Vienna is a city with very short ways, because it's a historical city with very many historical centers. And at this day, we have a very great modal split, for example. 73 of all the ways inside the city are done by public transport or foot or bicycle. Only the last remaining 27% are done by individual transport, which is a great thing. Or 50% of all the city surface is covered by wood or parks, which is a great situation for a city like Vienna. And there were very many bright political decisions in the last 150 years on a long-term scale, which is great now. For example, more than 100 years ago, politicians in Vienna decided to build a facility that brings water more than 100 kilometers from the springs of the Alps inside the city. For a population with more than 2 million people, Vienna today has 1.7 million people, so it's the capacity is still there for some more years. Vienna is growing very dynamically. Another example is the public housing. Vienna has started in the 1930s to put a high emphasis on public housing, which makes it a livable city today, because it's still an affordable city. And there's still very many public housing activities going on. For example, in the Seestadt Aspern, which is a place in Vienna in which we build basically on nothing but soil, 20,000 flats and places to work. There is a lake, we dig out and we use all the soil we dig out there for building and everything, and it's a carbon neutral place to be, and it's a 21st century project of social housing, so the story goes on. And there are very many other examples for Vienna being a smart city already now. And therefore, I not only want to wish you a very great and fruitful remaining day or remaining days of your conference, because we can all profit on that, because you're tackling the main issues our society is trying to deal with. I only hope that beside work, you have time to see a little bit of this great city, Vienna. Maybe you can come back. I'm sure you will. And some of you come back very often to work together here. And I think that's one of the great things you can do. It's one of the great things Vienna is proud about, that so many bright people from all over the world come together and think about our future and help us as politicians to do a little bit better. Therefore, I wish you a great World Coffee Day and a great conference. Thanks a lot.